Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Last week I did a little groom gnome and I told y'all I had a bride coming soon. So without further ado, here she is. She's super cute, super easy to make. I've included the pattern in the description below. So if you want to know how to make this little gal, stick around. I'll show you how. Hope you do. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, this first part you're not going to do. I'm showing it to you because it is in the video and you'll be wondering what it is. Instead, you're going to take a pool noodle and you're going to cut it at 8 inches in length. These are the Dollar Tree pool noodles. They measure 2¼ inches. And you can use a larger pool noodle, but you'll have to adjust your pattern. Next, you're going to cut 5 strips of 2" by 16" and this is going to be for a ruffle. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue the 2 short sides together. Now, if I did not hem mine, if you want to put a hem on this, you need to go ahead and cut your pattern to 2¼ inches, or you can use this stuff called fray check just to rub along the edge, and it'll keep it from fraying also. But I did not do either one of these, but if you're planning on selling them, I'd highly recommend it. And then next, I'm just going to take some needle and thread, and I'm going to go ahead and pull some 1/4 inch stitches all the way around to gather this up. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Just get some needle and thread and just kind of gather it up, and because it's all going to be hidden by the next ruffle that comes after that one. Okay, next go ahead and grab your noodle, and we are going to go all the way down to the bottom till the bottom of this ruffle is touching the ground. We're not putting shoes on her, so just go all the way down to the bottom. And then go ahead and tie it up real tight and tie it off. And then you're going to go ahead and adjust your ruffles just to make sure that they're even. The pleats are all the way around. Just make sure you do get this tied pretty tight. And if you need to use a thicker thread, you can do that. I would highly recommend using a little bit thicker thread than just regular thread. And then go ahead and cut that off, and then we're going to glue it down a little bit. But just go ahead and adjust your ruffle, make sure it's even all the way around, and then we're going to just spot glue it. We're not going to glue it all the way to the noodle because you know these noodles melt. We're just going to put a little bit of spot glue all the way around it. You're going to do that ruffle 4 more times, so we're going to have a total of 5 ruffles. And you're going to do it exactly the same way, gather it just like I did the first one. And then we're just going to lay it over the top part of that other one. And we're going to come down where the bottom of the ruffles, a 1/2 inch below the other ruffle. Okay, and then pull that one over the top of the other one, leaving a 1/2 inch of the lower ruffle showing. And then tie that off real good, and then make the next 3 ruffles exactly the same way and do them exactly like this one. Just kind of make sure you get your pleats even. And then go ahead and spot glue that one in as well. I think I only put like 4 places where I glued it. Keep going till you have all 5 of your ruffles made. For the top part of the dress, we're going to take a piece of fabric that measures 8 by 8, and we are going to fold it in half. And then go ahead and glue down one side to glue that together. And then on the opposite side, we're going to fold it over and glue it because we want a nice seam on the back when we get done. So go ahead and glue down that side, and then you'll have to glue the attaching piece on top of it over too. Okay, then we're going to start right in the center, put a little bit of glue right on top of that ruffle. And then we're going to cover up the top of that ruffle where our stitches are. Just go ahead and pull that on down there. And then go ahead and go to the back, and then the part that's the raw edge, glue it down, and then glue the other one over the top of it. Now you're going to pull this a little bit tight because it is going to be tight, but you want the top part of the dress pretty tight. So you are going to do a little bit of stretching on this, but you can get this on here pretty easy. You don't want anything loose on this. And then go ahead and glue it right down the back. Next, to dress up the waistline a little bit, I got these little flowers at Michael's, and I'm just going to go all the way around with these. start in the middle, put your first one in, and then put your other one, tuck it up underneath that one. And then keep tucking them up underneath as you're going around. And I'm going all the way around the waist with this. Just to kind of give it a little decoration. Now you could just put a ribbon around the middle if you want to and tie a nice bow in the back. You can do just about any kind of decoration around the waist on this. Okay, next I got these little adhesive pearls from Dollar Tree. They have these at Hobby Lobby and Michael's as well. And I'm just going to cut off a strip of these with the 1 singles, come down 2 inches from the top edge, and I'm going to glue this down. This just kind of makes it look like that she's got little buttons on the back that are made of pearls. And even though it has an adhesive strip on it, go ahead and put some glue down. And you're going to go right over that seam. Okay, next to decorate the top of it, I'm just going to go ahead and put 2 little crystals on here on the very front like buttons. Okay, next you're just going to go ahead and glue all the way around so it's flush with the top. Let's go ahead and cut your pattern pieces out for the hat. I've given you both SVG and PDF. Now this is an oval shape and we're going to only use one of the 2 circles that I've cut there. I changed it as I went along. And then we're going to go ahead and take the base of the hat, overlap it 1/2 inch and glue it together. Now you want to adjust it onto your noodle just to make sure it does fit if you do have a bigger noodle. Next for the brim, we're just going to come over the top of this, but we're going to go ahead and stretch it open just a little bit. Don't overstretch it, but just want to stretch it a little bit. And then the bulk of the hat where the brim is, because this is an oval, the skinny sides are going to go to the side. And just pull it all the way down till it's about 1/8 inch from the edge. And then just go ahead and make sure that it does fit over your noodle. Okay, next little 1/4 inch piece that I cut, I'm just going to cut it in half. And I did adjust this in your pattern because I kind of did this as I went. And I'm going to put part of this underneath the brim just to hold it on, and then we'll trim out the top part of the hat with the other part of it. Just start at the back and then put a piece of glue there, and we're just going to glue it in. This is what's going to hold the brim on to the hat. And then just glue that all the way around. Okay, next we're just going to go ahead and glue the top on and just kind of make sure that you do get it pretty even. I'm going to glue in the front and then in the back, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the 2 sides. And then this is a little bit of a gray white, and I'm going to paint this with a matte white paint, spray paint, after I get it completely done. But if you can find craft foam in a bright white, you can skip that step. Next, go ahead and take the other half of that piece that we trimmed and go ahead and start in the back and go all the way around. But like I said, I did fix the pattern for y'all, so you won't have to cut that in half. Just go all the way around until you have it all the way to the other side. Just kind of pulling it along, and this will kind of trim it out nicely. Next for the hands, I'm going to take a mold and I'm going to take some oven baked clay. I'm using cause clay because it does have a more of a skin tone color to it, but you can use any oven baked clay you want. And go ahead and roll the fingers out first. Go ahead and put them into each little cavity, and then we'll push the whole rest of the hand down in there to fill it in. But it's the easiest way is to roll little fingers and then go ahead and get those put in. And then go ahead and take a bunch of the clay, go ahead and push it all the way down, and then we're going to start taking our finger and dragging against the mold until you see all the finger shapes and the shape of the hand perfectly without anything overhanging. And then we're going to take it out of the mold, and you're going to make the other hand exactly the same way. After you get them both done, we're going to go ahead and curl the fingers in a little bit because we are going to have her holding a bouquet. So you want to make the hand to where it holds the bouquet together. And then we're going to go ahead and take some wire and put it up in here. Now this is probably about a 5-inch piece of wire. Just go ahead and run it right up into the end of there. And then we're going to bake these at 275 degrees for 20 minutes. For the hat, I'm going to take some 6-inch wide netting that comes on a roll, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull it to the back, make sure it goes down to the bottom of her dress, and I'm just going to tie it in a knot. This is, I think they call this tulle or something like that. It's they sell it at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. It comes on a roll, and it just kind of looks like netting. And then go ahead and glue it to the back of the hat. Okay, then go ahead and roll some more out, and we're going to go right around the top of the hat, and we're going to tie it off in a bow. So just kind of figure out exactly how much you need so that you can tie a nice bow. And you want it with kind of a big bow. And make sure you pull it over to the top, over the top part of that knot that you just tied on the first one. And then open it up and then cut the edges off. And then go ahead and glue that right over the top of the knot of the first tulle that we put down. Decorate it up a little bit. I'm going to use those same flowers I used on her dress, and I'm going to attach 3 of these together overlapping. And I'm just going to glue this to the side of her hat. Next, to attach her arms, I'm just going to go figure out exactly where I want them, and I'm going to go ahead and take an X-Acto knife and poke a hole in it on each side. And I'm probably coming down maybe 1/2 inch from the top edge of that hat. And you want to make sure that your thumbs are facing forward. And disregard that arms pattern sitting there because it's not part of this video. And you're going to bend these down till they're 3 inches in length. And then the hole for the arm, I'm coming down 3.5 inches from the top. Next, we're going to take a pipe cleaner to make the arm. And I'm just going to go up to the same height as that wire, and I'm going to fold these into 4 pieces. And this will hide that wire while we make the sleeve. And then just cut that off and do the same thing for the other arm. Next, I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to glue it inside of the pipe cleaner so you don't see the wire, because we are going to make lace sleeves. So just line it up there real good and then go ahead and glue it in. And then do the same thing with the other arm. Just make sure that wire is hidden. Next, I got this lace at Michael's, and it's 3.5 inches wide. And that's what we're going to make the sleeves out of. So we're just going to go ahead and glue our arm down on top of it with it hanging over the hand a little bit. And then we're just going to roll it up until you don't see the pipe cleaner anymore. So just kind of get it as thick as you want it. And then go ahead and cut that off and glue that into the back. And then do the same thing with the other arm. Just make sure that they do match. And then you're hanging the hand over the fabric about just about up to the thumb. Just make sure that your 2 arms do match. Just go ahead and put some glue inside that noodle and push that wire on in there and hold it till it dries. Then I'm going to take some needle and thread and I'm going to stitch around that sleeve onto the noodle. Now I'm going through the noodle actually as well as the fabric on some areas, but you could glue this if you want to, but I think that the glue would ooze through the lace and I think it wouldn't look very good. So just kind of spot stitch this on here. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing with the opposite arm. And especially if you're going to sell these, I would definitely sew this on as opposed to gluing it. And then just put a little dot of glue underneath the sleeve onto the hand just to hold it together. And then do exactly the same thing with the other arm. Next, for her hair, I'm going to take some faux fur that measures 1 inch by 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to cut down to the bottom straight line, and then I'm going to V the bottom of it a little bit. Just kind of curve in the sides just a little bit on both sides. And then you're going to cut 2 of these. Okay, next, to attach the hair, I am going to put this right up against the back part of the hat, and I'm going to leave a space between it so you can see that the button's on the dress. And you could use the whole straight piece if you want to, but it made it look like she has little ponytails out the back, and it does kind of separate it up a little bit to make it not look like it's just a piece of faux fur. And then just make sure that you get them lined up and that the hat does go right up to the edge of them and cover up the edge. And then you're going to glue the sides down as well onto the body part, not onto the ruffle part, but just onto the body part. Okay, for the nose, I'm taking a 12mm half bead and I'm just going to put it right up against the edge of that hat. Okay, for the bouquet, I got these little flowers at Michael's. You get quite a few of them in a pack, and I'm just going to join the peach colored ones with the white ones. And I'm just going to go all the way around with the white, and then I'm going to add some more peach here in a minute. Just get some small flowers to make a bouquet. And then go ahead and twist them so they stay together. Just kind of shape it up there to make it look like a bouquet. And you could do this all in white if you want to. I just thought the contrast color added a little bit to it. Take one of the wires and go ahead and wrap it around just to hold it all together and then cut it off. I think I left mine hanging off about maybe 1 inch. And then I'm just going to tie a ribbon around the bottom of it and tie it in a bow. And then just cut your ends off. Okay, next I'm just going to add a little bit of bang right here. This is probably about a 1/4 inch little strip of faux fur. And I'm just going to put it right above the nose just so it goes right up against the hat. It just looked a little bit better if she had some bangs. And then I ended up adding another one here in a little bit just on the opposite side because it just looked a little bit better in the front. And then for the bouquet, go ahead and put her hands together. And we're going to glue it into one hand, and then we're going to glue the other hand over the other hand. Just kind of bend your hands so that it does look like she's holding them. Go ahead and glue one side in, and then overlap the other one and glue it together. And if you're going to sell these, I'd go ahead and put a little bit of E6000 glue in her hand as well. And especially when you overlap them right here and glue them together, I would definitely put some E6000 glue in there as well. And then there's where I came back in and added another little side bang on the opposite side. Okay, this is how she turned out. I think she turned out super cute. I normally don't do girl gnomes because I don't do real good with them, but I really think this one turned out super cute. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you're notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it.